Hey guys, welcome back. Hey, we got some cool trains today. We got a Nicholas Smith Trains exclusive set. So this set was made for Nicholas Smith trains. Only 25 sets were made of this Santa Fe FA set, which consists of two A engines, a B powered B unit engine, and a super bass B unit. So has super bass rail sounds in it. So these are fully loaded legacy engines with everything in them. Latest, all four units have smoke in them. We've got sounds in the lead unit on the AA, and then of course the super bass unit. Electro couplers on all four units. Three of the units are dual motored, so that's 6 motors total. This is also Bluetooth. All the latest technologies packed in these, so they can use TMCC, Bluetooth. You can use the universal remote. You can use the app. You can use your legacy Cab 2 remote. So fully loaded engines. So let's open them up and see what they look like. All right, so here they are. Again, these are FAs. They are they're both powered locomotives, so 2 motors on each one, so that's 4 total for the A units. They both have fan-driven smoke units in both units. This is legacy control, Bluetooth control for either. The sounds are in the lead unit, the rail sounds, and there are front electro couplers on both of the units. So the 2 A's are basically, 4 motors, so plenty of pulling power. And then we're going to have another powered B. Just pull these out here for a second. Good. Kind of take a look at them, but they have this really gorgeous, I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like a metallic finish on it. It's not a plated finish, but it's like a silver metallic, and they're really beautiful on the sides. Fan details on the top. Again, both front and rear powered units. It's got the little Bluetooth sticker on it. So really nice A units. So there's a matching one over here. So these obviously will be put in a lash up and controlled together. So let's open up the B units and see what those look like. Alright, so here's the B units. The powered B unit is 2 motors. So between the A engines and the B unit, that's 6 motors. It also has smoke in this unit also. And then the second B unit is a super bass unit. So this has super bass rail sounds on it. And this is non-powered, however it still has smoke. So all 4 units have smoke. 3 of the units have double motors in them, and the head unit has the main rail sounds, and then the other B unit has the super bass rail sounds in it. So pretty much a full featured set. You can't I don't think you can get any better than that. And then of course the electro couplers you can see on the B unit here. There's an electro coupler here, and there's also an electro coupler on the other B unit. So the B units have electro couplers, and then the A units have front electro couplers on them. So, but we'll put it on the track here. It'll give it a good overall look at all the details, and then we've got to set it up in the legacy remote to get everything lashed up correctly. But this also runs on the Bluetooth universal remote if you had that, or the app, whichever you were using. So pretty much the latest and greatest. So let's get it on the track and see what it looks like. Alright, so here she is all put together here. So let's look at some of the details on it. Really nice war bonnet paint scheme on it. Like I said, the sides have this beautiful metallic finish on them. All the doors on all the engines operate, so you can push them in. They're spring-loaded. There's a fan detail on the top of each of the engines. You can see each one has a smokestack. There are figures inside the cab. Front headlight, of course. Operating couplers on the front of the A units. Nice grille detail. So all four together, pretty impressive looking units. So, alright, let's see if we can't get these, we got to assign IDs to them, and I'm not sure how they come out of the box. If the, usually what happens is the two A units are usually already synced together with numbers, but we'll have to see if the instructions give us any information on it. Otherwise we're going to have to assign engine IDs to each one of them and then get them lashed up. So let's get that set up and then we'll see how it sounds and runs. Okay, I primed all the smoke units with the amount that they say in the booklet, and you can see there's these little hatches at the top on the engines here that have all the switches in here for the turning the smokes on and off, turning Bluetooth on and off. You can also turn the couplers on and off. So, and then they've got the program run switch. So there's a set of 4 switches, and each one of the locomotives has the same switches on it because they have all the same features. So I'm going to make sure all the switches are set correctly, and then we'll take the next step. Oh, and the Super Bass B unit also has a couple extra switches for the crew talk and the signals like the bell and the horn, so that if you want to do in combination with the main unit or turn them off, you can do those different choices. So they have a couple extra switches in the Super Bass unit. Alright, so we'll assign this an ID here, so we're just going to do engine 23 and a set. Alright, so we got our sounds, and now this one's programmed to 23. If we run it over the sensor track here, it should pick it up on the remote and just program it. So let's see if that works. So let me switch it back to run mode. And it did, it programmed it right into the remote, so it's all set to go. Alright, so we're good with the first unit, so let's get the other unit and do that one. Alright, so first I programmed this lead A engine and then the second one with different numbers. But that didn't really work, so I think these were already pre-programmed together like they usually are with the AA units from Lionel. They usually come like that, already pre-programmed to work together. So anyway, they should be the same number for these units, so pick a number and then make sure they're both programmed to that. And so what will happen is if I just use that single number when I start up the engine here, so you can see both smoke units are smoking, and I can control that with the legacy remote, right? So if I turn it down, or off, you see how both of them like respond simultaneously. Okay, so they're all programmed together. And then on the front of the engine here, you can see the headlight is lit on this one. And then on the back here, you can see you have the red trailing lights. If I switch the direction, now you can see this one has the headlight, and the other side over here will have the red markers lit. So they work in tandem together if they're the same number for the A units. So that's what you want to program them as, the same number. Now what we're going to do is we're going to have to add on the B units, which are going to be, I think, different numbers, and then put them in a lash up. So for now, if we run this, they should run and work together. So let's just go forward here and make sure. Now, if it's dragging or something, that means they're fighting each other, and that means they're not. But right now, they're working together perfectly. Smoke output is fantastic on these things.
We're done for the day. Out.
Okay, so we got the two A units working together, everything's fine. So now we're going to go grab one of the B units and we'll start adding those in. Alright, so we actually set all four of the engines. First of all, were set from the factory to engine ID 1. And if you had put them all just right on the track, they would have all worked together and you wouldn't have had to do anything. So I switched them all to 23. So all four of these units are set to engine ID 23. So according to the directions, which I didn't know, I don't do a lot of lash ups, but and I don't know if this is new or it's always been like this, but you can do it in two different modes when you have multi-engines like this. You can do them in the same engine ID mode or train ID address mode. And really what happens is when you're in the same engine ID mode, all you really need to do is a couple extra little things, which is turn off the switches for the couplers on the mid-engines, so that when you hit the, if you hit the coupler button on your remote to uncouple the front or the rear, it won't uncouple the mid-engines, because when you're using the same engine ID, it's going to do that command. If you're in the train ID mode, like you actually create a train, an actual lash up in the legacy remote, then it ignores all those settings and it knows what to do. And you could technically address just that unit itself with the remote and uncouple it if you want to. So that's really the only feature you're kind of losing, is if you wanted to individually address an engine to say turn the smoke on or off, or you wanted to uncouple it, really that's the main two things, then you lose that little bit. But I find it much more convenient just to have one engine ID for all four. First of all, you're not using up 4 IDs, and right out of the box everything works. And so it really depends. I mean, you can, if you want to, each engine can have its own ID, and then you'd have to create the actual train within the remote. So all those would have to be joined together in the remote, going through all those steps to get a lash up created. It'll come out with the same result, and the only extra feature you're getting again is you'll be able to individually control them. But when I have a 4 engine set like this, it's just much easier to just give them one single ID and everything works. So let's start her up here, and again they're all the same engine ID. And I tested this all out so that I increased and decreased the smoke, and they all simultaneously in all 4 units went up and down, and they worked. Also, the super bass unit is just massive amount of sound coming out of that thing. But now, and again, you can decide with the switches how you want it, but when I blow the horn, it comes out of the main unit and the super bass unit at the same time. So I'm actually going to probably move the super bass at near the other end of the train, so that way you'll have sound coming from both ends of the train. Let me do that, and then we'll come back and give it a run. Alright, so let's start her up. A massive amount of smoke coming out of these 4 stacks. Reverse it, now this headlight will become active, and at the other end I'd see the marker lights turn on. The effects, and the smoke is just pouring out of these things.
Dispatcher, switch
So that's it for the Santa Fe FA ABBA set, Nicholas Smith Trains exclusive set. Again, they only made 25 of the complete sets, so if you want all 4 of the engines, there's only 25 of those sets that were made. And then they made an additional 5 of the A engine set. So if you're just interested in the double A's, then there are 5 extras of those. But the actual 4-engine set total is 25. So if you're interested in this set, give Nicholas Smith a call or check out their website. It's an absolutely beautiful set. The paint finish on it, this sort of metallicized paint finish, is really beautiful. Great details. Smoke units are just awesome. Just pours out tons of smoke. The Super Bass B unit, the sound in it is amazing. And you've got 6 motors total on this engine working in tandem with each other. So tons of pulling power. You should be able to pull as many cars as you want to with this set. Front and rear electro couplers, you know, full lighting, operating doors, spring loaded. All the doors are operating spring loaded. Just tons of details. So highly recommended. This is probably going to turn out to be one of my favorite engines. You know, you have everybody has those engines that they really like. That, you know, if they had to make a decision, they can only keep a couple. Which ones would they be? And this is definitely going to be one of mine. My 765 nickel plate road. Berkshire is one of my top favorites, and then the Pennsylvania M1A. But now I've got this one also, which is just an amazing set. So. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.